Administration with the Urban Social Society. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So thank you for joining us this evening. We wanted to ask you for a few questions and get to know a little bit more about your background as a performing artist and what inspired you to do and be who you are. So my first question is, why do you do what you do as a performing artist, so to speak?
I mean, it's fun.
It's fun.
It is, and who doesn't enjoy being a lesbian and entertaining with the lesbians?
I like the fact that you focused in on being a lesbian because we're a very diversified organization and we mainly work with a lot of our allies, but we actually center ourselves around the LGBTQ community because that's the culture and lifestyle that I live. So I really want to hear more about your perspective as being a performing artist as a lesbian because it is very interesting to a lot of our viewers as being an artist.
Well, I mean, this is what I do. This is what I love. I mean, I love women. I love women that love women. And what's more exciting than having a beautiful lesbian woman that you can picture and fantasize, and it's just like, oh my God, like, it doesn't get any greater than this. At the end of the day, like when I'm dancing, I feel like my job is complete. It's not about how much money you make on a show. It's not about how many people show up. It's about how many people you affect in the show, and that's the most important part for me personally. I can't speak for everybody else, but it's so cliche for dancers to always dance on that beautiful light-skinned girl that's in the front, and nobody ever pays attention to the heavy girl in the back that has low self-esteem. She may not be as attractive, and that's who I target. Those people in the back, because those are the people that will forever support you, that will tip you, even though it's not about the tips, but they'll tip you. They'll always be there, anything that you need. Like I can probably say that majority of my fans and my followers are probably all the girls in the back, not the girls in the front. And then I get a lot of people that are like, well, I was standing there with all this money and you didn't even come dance on me. And I'm like, I appreciate that, but that's not what it's about for me, because those people in the back don't ever get that love. They don't ever get that attention from everybody else. So that's why I go to the back.
You are great because I'm over here, I'm ecstatic. You talked about the ones in the back, your fans in the back. Those are ultimately, whether you're a performing artist, a visual artist, a liberal artist, whatever you do, it's mainly those people in the back that give you the most support, and for those in the front, they're of course the, for the lack of phrase, groupies. So they're going to make sure that they do their due diligence to make sure that they're in the front and that they're seen.
Exactly.
And so when you speak and you talk about those in the back with low self-esteem or those who may not be able to come to the forefront, as the others may, you put your attention, your focus on that.
Always.
So, my question to you is, because it's very inspiring to those who will ultimately view this, who will read about this, what is it? Were you ever one of those type of people that were in the back, or were you in the front always?
No, I was always that person in the back, if you can actually believe that. All through high school and middle school, I was that lame kid, the kid who, I didn't have no friends. I mean, and it's still true. That's still true now. I always tell a lot of people, if they knew me outside of being Juice Box, they'd be like, "You're just lame," But I mean, I enjoy being that person in the back. I enjoy being that person that does all of the work, but nobody knows, that I do all the work. I mean, I'll tell you a story. When I was in high school, because I didn't have any friends, because I was, that kid in the back, that wallflower. I was the high school mascot, and for some odd reason, whenever I got into this costume and I was in character, I came alive. And a lot of people, they would go to football games and they'd be like, who the hell is in that mascot outfit?
Right.
And I never let anybody know that I was, the mascot. And as I got older and then I became this character, it made me think about back when I was in high school how I had to get into character in order to be that front runner when I've always been that bad guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you talk about being a front runner, that bad guy, and being into character. One of the things that I've learned about, for the year 2013 as a professional working my 9 to 5 in sales and marketing is that you have to put yourself into character when you're dealing with your clients on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of people really don't understand what putting that mask on is all about. It's not about being fake. It's not about being
it's about learning to differentiate between the two, and a lot of people don't do that.
Exactly, and I really appreciate hearing that from you because the fact of the matter is that even though we come in many shapes and sizes and we live different lifestyles and we're from different cultures, a lot of people fail to understand that we are a lot the same. Mm-hmm. And as a performer, I just wanted to bring that to your attention, because you've actually opened up my eyes, and for others that will be viewing this or who may be reading this, to let them know that it doesn't matter where you come from, whether you're in the front or whether you're in the back or what your lifestyle is like, we all actually have to take that same walk of life. Mm-hmm. We just actually go about doing it differently. And when you speak of that, it's very inspiring to me because I was also that kid in the back, but I've also led to the forefront because I'm a leader and not a follower. And so it's a really huge difference when you're a leader and not a follower, right. Because it's like, even though you're like, okay, well, how are you leading and you're against the wall? Right. That's kind of like backwards, and ultimately it's not, because another thing is that there is a saying that, when you're dealing with a group of great people, you have to position them in the right way on the bus. Mm-hmm. And, my observation and my theory on that is I like to sit in the back of the bus so I can see how people in front of the bus position themselves, mm-hmm. so that I can learn how they maneuver in and out and what their ultimate position is. So when I do get to the front of the bus, I'll know how to lead exactly the way I'm supposed to lead. So, I'll leave that to say is, how do you identify yourself most with your art? Because to me it just sounds like you're a great leader.
Yeah, I don't really know how I would identify myself. I mean, I'm just me.
You're just you. Who are you though? What is the
authentic
part of you?
I started again doing this when I was in college.
Mm-hmm. Which was what year?
Girl, I'm old. Okay. I'm an old hoe. Okay.
What's old though? Because I mean, you're old, may not be my old.
For a dancer, I'm old. We'll put it like that.
Okay.
I'm a seasoned vet.
Very seasoned. Okay.
Very, very seasoned.
Some
and
married.
Yes, but and to answer your question, when I first started dancing, this was in 2009. Okay. So I was in my last year of college, my last year of college, and
I know what that means.
I just was in the club one night. I've always been that guy. I'm just always dancing, just for no reason. Like, in my very small circle of friends, we have one person that's the talker, one person that's the alcoholic, and then me, like the dancer. I just am dancing everywhere we go. So, I started off just in the club, dancing, whatever. Promoter see me and was like, hey, you'd be really great at this, why don't you come on out? I'm just like, no. I didn't go to, I've been in college for 6 years. I didn't go to college for this, whatever. And then, so in the midst of me dancing, like, I kind of figured out, and I'm actually glad that I went through a lot of things that I did because it helped me find out who I was. I got into this, and it kind of was like an overnight thing, like I danced, and everybody was like, shit, who's that?
Wow, how did that make you feel?
Well, and it made me feel great, and at one point, I was not a humble person. when it started, because I was like, man, all these girls, they after me. I'm popular, I'm this, I'm that, because that's something that I never had because I was in the back. So with me getting all this popularity and all this, I was eating it up. At the same time, I was in a relationship, and I was affecting my relationship because for once in my life, I felt important. And so it took me to lose myself in this business to find myself again. And it all starts, it's all with who you associate yourself with. Because what a lot of people don't understand is once you get in this game, if you don't know how to play the game right, this game will eat you up whole and spit you out. I've seen it happen to a lot of people. And a lot of people are like, oh, you know, it's just dancing. But it is crazy. This dance world, I promise you, it's crazy. Like people, they just see the finished product, but they don't see, you know, the credits and, you know, what all goes into this, the beefs, the, you know, he say, she say, the this or that, you know, a lot of people, you know.
1 second, sorry. Oh, y'all, take it. I'm fucking up, it's politicized, I'm just, can we pause?
I'm sorry.
Back to what you were saying, if you didn't lose that thought.
But a lot of people don't realize that this game it's literally a dog-eat-dog run, and it's crazy. And you know, I found myself. I said, you know, I'm not gonna be that dancer that beats with people. I'm not gonna be that dancer that gets into all of this stuff that comes with this. I mean, that's not me. That's never who I've been. So I had to take a step back, and then taking a step back and me learning who I was, that's when I learned to differentiate myself in the character. When I'm in the club, I'm in character, I'm Juice Boxx, I'm this, I'm that, and as soon as I leave, it's off just like that. I don't take any of this stuff here outside of the club with me. Because all of this, it's fun, you know, but this doesn't come with a 401k, this doesn't come with health benefits, this doesn't come with any type of longevity and a guaranteed paycheck, you know, whereas in my regular life, I'm a diabetic therapist, I have 401k, I went to college, I have 2 bachelors of science and associates, like I'm very educated, so you just gotta not be so much into this, but in your real life.
And I'm glad that you touched on what you do in your everyday life, because that would have been my next question, is how do you balance the two? Because if at night you're a performing artist, and in your daytime, you know, your 9 to 5 life, you're in medical, how does that coincide together?
Well, a lot of times when people are getting ready to book me for shows, I don't do anything during the week unless it's something kind of local where I can fly in and fly out. Like, prime example, for tonight, I have to be at work in 7 hours. But
Where are you from?
I live in San Antonio. I'm from DC, but I live in San Antonio. So I have to be at work in the morning, but I make sure that I get the first flight out, and I let my boss know, hey, I have a little lie, but you know, hey, I got a doctor's appointment. I'll be in late, but I will be in. But Monday through Friday, I'm very disciplined about my real life. And then Friday after 4:30, fuck it, it's whatever. You know, Juice Boxx is in full effect. But I don't, you know, I'm only me through the week, and then Juice Boxx on the weekend. And then even sometimes when I'm not Juice Boxx, I just like to chill, you know, because I'm in the club so much. I've been doing this for almost 5 years that when I have free time to myself and I don't have shows on the weekends, I refuse to go to the club because I get paid to party for a living anyway. Right. And so it's kind of nonstop for me. I feel like I work 7 days a week, you know. I work Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends I travel from city to city, to hotel, back home to work. So it's just a continuous cycle. But of course, yes, that keeps me balanced because I live such a disciplined life. And then when I'm Juice Boxx, it's just reckless and it's crazy, and I don't sleep, and I feel like a rock star. And then they balance out. So it's, you know,
Okay, cool. And do you go by Juice Boxx, or is that just something that's your entertainment?
That's my entertainer name, but I just recently changed my name to JB Jamerson. And I did that because I don't plan on dancing for a really long time. Like, I've been doing this for 5 years. I've had a really great run. I'm still in my prime right now. But I have a lot of other business endeavors with Juice, but I don't want to carry the box with it. I've been doing a lot of magazine shoots, a lot of interviews, a lot of stuff. And when people ask me what my name is for future reference, I want to be able to tell you that I'm Jay Jamerson. You know, so that's why I gave Juice Box the last name Jamerson, because Jamerson to me sounds like sex. And sex is juice. Juice Box is sex. So Jay Jamerson is catchy. And when people say that, they're like, oh, what's your name? And I'm like, it's Jay Jamerson. And people are like, oh, you know, it kind of has a ring to it.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
So I would rather be Jay Jamerson and carry out all of my other business endeavors with Juice Box rather than be Juice Box. I mean, I wouldn't want to open up a magazine and be like, oh, Juice Box. What the fuck is that? You know, I would be like, oh, Jay Jamerson. She's a dancer, model, actress, whatever, you know.
So that is my next question.
You're
a professional goal. You thought about it. You know what you're going to do. That's good because ultimately, you know, I talk to a lot of people day in and day out on so many different levels, and a lot of entertainers or performing artists do not have a means to an end or a goal, an attainable goal. It's just something that they ultimately do on the weekends, and it's fun for them, and they make their quick money, or they have their groupies in the front and their people on the back wall, and that is just what it is for them, you know what I'm saying? And just to talk to you has been very delightful because you've actually given me a lot of insight on what your perspective is as an artist on your day-to-day living, and those are the type of things that we're ultimately interested in at the Urban Social Society. This interview was on a whim, and I have to be honest because I was supposed to have been doing interviews for the award show last weekend, but unfortunately I wasn't feeling very well. And so tonight I'm just, you know, doing a few interviews for Shy T, and these are going to be edited because I am speaking off the record, of course, right now. But these will be edited, and we will blog about this. There are going to be a couple of snippets, a couple of photos. If this was not so on the whim, of course, there would be other things involved, but we would be interested in speaking with you in the future and learning a little bit more about, you know, what your future plans are professionally, and, you know, how you live day to day as a performer and entertainer outside of what we talked about tonight, because I know that this is pretty much summed up, and we would like to share a little bit more with you about who we are and what we do. And just to give you a little bit more insight is that we project leadership through arts, and so we provide resources and tools for individuals or small and mid-sized businesses on personal and business development. And so outside of that, another thing that we do is we do financial advising. I'm a financial advisor. I'm still in training, but that's another thing that we do is we actually help those individuals that we take in on as clients, and we help them establish themselves in their art and in their business, and we help you get the proper financial funding, and we help you plan and budget those types of things that are important as you continue to build your business. And then from the leadership perspective, and as far as business development and personal development, is that we lead you and we guide you and we connect you with the resources and the people professionally that will help you ultimately reach your goal as far as being professional or successful in whatever it is that you choose to do in life. So thank you so much for talking with me this evening. Before you leave, I would like for you to just kind of like, I guess just write your name or email address or a Facebook account or something like that, where we can kind of reach back out to you, and then you'll kind of have first dibs on what we edit and what we blog about what we discussed tonight.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure.